What is up, people? Welcome on yet another stream. 1020 unpainted minis. Here's a boy. And we are continuing our journey with this beautiful Venerable Dreadnought. That's not Venerable Dreadnought, which is actually Proteus, Proteus Land Raider. It's not a Dreadnought at all. Fucked up. But anyway, so yesterday I was, finishing the goals and all that stuff, and I was trying to put agrosurfeit all over the tank. The problem happened when I decided to thin down the agrosurfeit a little bit just to have better coverage, and these white stains left. Maybe you can see here. In the recess there's some white kind of a dust because I mixed it with water, so I think this is the reason. I mixed airplate with water, and maybe I shouldn't do that, so I should probably correct all these recesses. And we'll see. I did this part, I did this part and the bottom, and everywhere there's this white kind of stain in the recesses, which of course shouldn't be there. So I'm gonna give it a second chance. I'll mix this time lemon medium with aggressive shade and see how it's gonna dry. In the meantime, because it's gonna be a lot of drying today, I'm gonna do, I prepared myself already 3 guardians with shields. They're right here, ready to be painted. So let's start. For this Agrax and Lamian medium mix, I'm gonna use this palette instead of one palette. So let me find the correct paint. There we go. We get this kind of mix. It's gonna be shit, I'm running off aggressive shade. There's a lot of shading gold in the latest project, so that's why I'm just lower and lower on the supply. So very important now to check how it works exactly. Is there gonna be again like white dust sitting in the recesses or no? And what I'm gonna do, I'll check. There are some places here that can be corrected. Here, this is the bottom. I don't care too much about that. It's not visible, basically. So let's fix places like here. And after drying out, check if this white is disappeared or no. This is the main point. Yesterday I thought, okay, when I put regular Agrax, it's gonna be better, the white will disappear, but it did not happen, fortunately. So let's mix it up. Because really I have no idea what it is. Maybe the mixture of Agrax and water release some strange chemicals and make it this way after drying. I don't know. Just a very, very weird reaction, chemical reaction. And it looks real bad. So it looks like it doesn't supposed to be this way. It's like old paint or something. So let's find all these. Okay, so here for example, I don't care too much because it's gonna be painted black, you know, again. It's gonna be black layer. So let's focus on the areas where it is actually visible. Here on the bottom, it's kind of, I can just, you know, touch on that, see what happens with layman. It's gonna be, I guess, some indicator if I can go on to the next steps with this mix. Or maybe there is something in the water, you know, but I'm using the distilled water, which should be, you know, without any minerals or this kind of stuff. Because I was thinking, okay, maybe if the water is heavy, there is a lot of minerals inside, maybe when it's dry, you know, it's gonna leave some kind of stain or dusty white looking thing. I don't know, I'm not really knowledgeable about that. So it is how it is. Let's correct these things. Good thing I didn't do all at once. And you see, for example, here there's a lot of white. Or maybe it's the, I don't know, humidity or the climate that I'm in right now. That could be the case as well. I don't know. Because in the room itself, there is no dust or this kind of stuff. Hard to say. What is the exact reason behind that? Looking at it now, it's almost dried. It's a little, it's better, definitely better. So I still have a little bit of this mix, so let's give it a go on the rest of the parts that I can do here. And leave this to dry, and then do another part, and we will go, we're gonna do it step by step, not rushing, you know. I don't want strange looking stains, because, you know, sometimes happen when you wash too many places at once. It's gonna look really unnatural and weird. So I'll do the bottom here, leave for it to dry, and switch back to the guardians that I have to do, because I need more troops. All right, this part is gonna be drying right now, and then let's do this. Here we go. I can do also this inside part that is next to the trucks. Let's do the doors. I can do it as it's closed, you know. Here we go. I should probably take away some of the paint from here, since it's a little bit too much there. Cool. I don't, you know, if there's more paint, it's gonna be leaving more kind of a stain, if it's gonna be leaving a stain at all. So let's reduce the amount here. Go. Nice. Still, hello there, Grotham Iggy. Welcome, welcome. Iggy83, the second account. I remember that. Alright, guys. Did you manage to connect with what was the name? Jagger? Yes, Jagger. Are you gonna play or paint together? I remember you were talking about that yesterday. Which I think is a very nice idea, since I also remember you were saying there's not many people you know in the area that are into the same hobby. So I'm glad you're finding a, you know, company to play and do hobby stuff nearby your place. Okay. Let's stop right here, or maybe not. Let's stop somewhere here. Okay. And do the other side, since we are on the bottom here. Okay. Yeah, we added ourselves on Facebook and Instagram and Discord. Okay, nice. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. I'm curious how it's gonna go, you know. I'm supposed to play today in the morning, Necromunda, my new, I mean, the next game in the cycle. But unfortunately, my opponent had to reschedule. Gonna play tomorrow probably. I was planning to play a little bit, play in the morning and start the stream a little bit earlier. Later, of course, later. What am I saying? I was thinking to start after 2 hours or something, but as I said, sometimes the plans do not go our way. So let's leave it to dry. I'll just quickly check. So there is no this white stain anymore, although maybe it's not completely dry. That's why. This is what I'm afraid of a little bit. Here, for example, there is a lot of white, and I think it's dry already. So unfortunately, I might damage it, and it's not gonna be the same anymore. We'll see how bad it is. If it's really bad, like the white will not, if the white will be seen after applying dry brush over everything, then I'm gonna maybe use oil paints, because I think it should, you know, cover everything quite well. I'll just, you know, add oil in the recesses. If I miss anything, I'll just use white spirit and remove it. It's a nice technique, especially for metallics. So yeah, let's leave to dry this part, this lovely Land Raider, and let's focus on these 3 guys. So I picked up yesterday night 3 guys. The Guardians with, okay, there we go. The Guardians with shields. I already washed them yesterday, so today morning they are ready, dry, and I think that the job of them is pretty simple in general. I already painted them, 3 of them, so I think this is one of the units that takes the least amount of time to finish. That's why in the meantime of doing the Land Raider, I'm gonna just, progress a little bit these guys here. There we go. A little bit of paint. I think I'm gonna use bigger brush just to speed things up. I have these brushes from Painter, and I think they work pretty good with this technique, like this dry brushing. So I would like to try one time this Artis Opus, I think, or is the name. They are very expensive though. I would be curious to compare the quality of both of the brushes and see which one is actually better, if they are actually better, if it is worth to pay this premium price, instead of buying these, because I think these are like $20 or something for a package of 5 or 4. It's pretty good. You have saying in Polish, co się odlecze, to nie ucieszy, so you will play later. Yeah, exactly. We're scheduled for tomorrow. I'm gonna play against the luck. I don't like to play against the luck. They have a lot of tricks, and then I hate web weapons. Web weapons in Necromunda are, in my opinion, just overpowered, or how you call it, overdone. If you got hit by it, you are basically dead. There is no save because it's web. So how you can save from the web, get saved from the web, and even more overpowered they are in combat. There's like web gauntlet, which is super powerful. Just completely not balanced thing. And fog web weapons is my mantra, I've been saying from the first campaign I played, and we keep it in our house rules. So in our house rules we specifically state fog web weapons. Of course you can take them, but fuck you if you take it. Actually, I know Blaze is not something people like. Me myself, I'm more fine with Blaze, since it's you're not straight up dead. You're just useless and running around and burning everything. But at least you're alive. You can still come back. It's not impossible if you need a little bit of luck in rolling, but definitely the web is basically like you are like 90% dead if you get wounded. I have one of those brushes branded with Rebel Store. Okay. So you think it's just I don't know, some kind of a Chinese brand, and different companies, they put their label on it? Because that's possible, I've seen these brushes on AliExpress, and I mean similar looking brushes. Let's not say the same exactly, because maybe they are not the same, but definitely the black part here, the white this one, the white bristle, the silver part this one, and the white bristle. So maybe they have like the same, there's the same company that is creating all these brushes and just selling them in Europe, and you just put your branding on it. But I don't know, honestly. I believe Artis Opus are actual manufacturers, and they create these brushes I don't know, in UK or somewhere, and that's why I'm very curious to try them. I'm doing a lot of dry brush because I'm part of the reason I'm a little bit lazy. Not a little, I'm a very lazy person. I always try to find the shortest way to do things, easiest way to do things. So, you know, dry brush is definitely my go-to. You see, I've painted basically all the mini, only details left. Just I will glue the head. The head is almost done. No, it's basically done. I just need to glue it. Here's some leather, the gems. I can spend a little bit of time on the blade, and then it's basically ready. So I love this technique, you know. Yeah, I think so, but it's nice. I have two sizes. One is more less like yours, and the other is smaller. Yeah, I have this 1, 2. No, these are only 3 brushes, and I have one much bigger. And I can recommend them without any issues. Some of them, they were like, the bristles were falling apart quite fast, I think. But maybe I was pushing too much into the mini. That's possible, or using a little bit too old of the paint, which, you know, dried, and then when it's you know, very dry paint here, then maybe it's easier to break the bristle. I don't know. I think that's what happened when I was using it in the beginning. All right, so here I love this technique also because I don't need to be actually, you know, focused or anything. Just mindful of how much paint I have on the brush, and then you go over everything, and it will look fine. It will look fine. Not any, you know, gold demon level or anything, but we are not here for that. We are here just for removing the pile of shame and having painted minis. I will show you in a moment what is my like target for these guys. If you didn't see it already, oh, okay, there's too much paint already. I can also start dry brushing my vehicle, the Venerable Land Raider, and see how it looks exactly, because I think the side is dried already, so I can test it out. Okay, and then the shield. I was thinking to do spears or shields. I decided shields just because it's less work. Simple but factual. It's much less work doing the shields than the spears. In the spears, I have to spend a lot of time painting the spears, the actual spears, you know, because I need to spend I need to layer black probably like 2 times at least to cover the gold from behind, from down, and then it's not. There are some details on it as well, and here there's very few details here and there, like the black, for example, black joints between armor. These are some of the details that I have to do. There are what else? Some of the details. I don't think there is much more, actually. I guess the blade, but the blade I did last time. I'm not very proud of how I did the blade, honestly. I just wanted to finish it fast. So this is the target, right? The thing that I want to achieve after painting everything. It looks okay, it looks painted, you know. So there are a few minor details to do. Not much, honestly. And this was very fast job. For example, this blade is quite easy, but it's not very impressive. Just slap some color on it and that's it. Anyway, it looks fine for me. I'm happy with the result. So we're gonna try to do the same with these three guys. I'm gonna do this part. Let's I think it's dry. Looks dry. Okay, actually the white stains got removed by Lumion Medium and Ugly Circuit, so this is very good. Now we have to check how it's gonna look with this dry brush, because I'm very curious. This is the pretty big part of the the main part. Okay. Well, you should go this way. It should pick up all the details. These, for example, these parts are gonna be black, so I don't care right now. I will paint how it is. Too much paint. Okay. I don't know about this dry brush, man. I'm not actually convinced this is a good way to do the vehicle, you know. Palace looks okay, you know. Palace, I did Palace and it was fine. It looks like old gold, like you know, a little bit trashed, weathered. So I guess it can be. I will try to do this part also like damaged and not in great condition. So let's hope it's gonna look fine in the end. I'll be AFK for a minute or two. I need to pick up wife from shopping. Be right back. Yeah. No worries. Thanks for sticking around. Okay, let's do the second side. Go. Yeah, I'm not very impressed with the results I'm getting, honestly, guys. I wish these panels were just, I think, like very smooth and clear. Like, for example, you would get after a brushing. Whatever. Whatever. This is gonna be the only, I think this is gonna be the only tank that I have on the tracks, and all others are gonna be skimmers and more Palace-like. You know, remember I was painting Palace some time ago, and most of the Forge World custodies are skimmers. I mean, I think even all of them. I picked this up specifically for 40k, so I'm painting it just because I've started it. Not really need to paint it at the moment, but I wanted to have some, you know, bigger challenge and see how it goes. And I'm not the biggest fan. I think I will take a different approach for this kind of models in the future. Let's switch to the smaller brush, you know, because there are some things that I don't want to mess up. For example, here, right? I can be a little bit more careful, mindful about how to do it. I don't need to cover everything in the citrine alchemy that I'm using. Rat Dog, welcome back, guy. Sorry I'm late. You're not late. You're just on time. You know, guys, I'm not very strict on the schedule here. Sometimes I'm starting later, sometimes starting earlier, depends how my morning goes, how my routine goes. So definitely don't worry if you came a little bit earlier. I remember, I think even you were suggesting I should, you know, create a plan or schedule of streams. I'm thinking about this actually. In the beginning, I was saying I don't want to, you know, put myself in a situation where I'm obliged to do something, and you know, then it's gonna be, you know, people that are upset that, oh, okay, you said you will be this hour but you didn't come, or you're late, or blah blah blah. So definitely what I'm doing right now, it's a little bit easier for me because I'm okay. I woke up 9, I will start 11 or whatever. I have time for my morning routine. You know, I can do yoga, I can eat breakfast with tranquility. I can stay up late. That's also another part, you know. I can stay up late the day before. I can still have a alright sleep. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I just send the schedule on Discord or Facebook, and if anyone wants to join for the stream from the beginning, then he can, because he knows when it's gonna start, and that would be a great like knowledge if this is something that's gonna help to have a little bit more viewers, maybe, because in general, if you know that I'm gonna start, I don't know, 9 or 10 o'clock, then probably you can plan ahead a little bit to join me and paint. So if you guys have some input about that, or some suggestion, then by all means. But definitely I'm not gonna do it before middle of November, because honestly, this is I think my last no, second last week. So the next week I should still stream, but after next week I'm gonna have like 2 weeks break because I'm traveling for work, and there will be no streams. No streams in the morning, no streams in the night on Sundays as well. So we are gonna be out from the loop for these 2 weeks. Then we're gonna come back probably like mid-November. So this is like heads up, just in case. I'm already talking about that. But when I come back, it's gonna be more things to do again. Depends how much I can paint before the travel. I hope to finish these 3 guys and Land Raider. I should do that this week pretty easily. I have still 2 streams, right? Tomorrow and after tomorrow. And then I'm planning to paint Telemon Dreadnought. Telemon Heavy Dreadnought. I have 2 ready to go. So probably I can focus on these bad boys. And then I was thinking, what else? I should probably do more Guardians. with spears this time. Yes, I know. I want to do Achillans with fire pikes and what they have, these talons. So they are ready to paint. I primed them gold. I can do them pretty soon as well. So this is the biggest plan. 2 Telemans and Achillans and some Guardians. So we'll see how much time do I need to finish a Telemann Dreadnought. I'm pretty curious. I remember the regular Dreadnoughts, the Galatus and Achilles, were pretty fast. They didn't took too much time because I did pretty simple job with them. So Telemann doesn't look like a difficult miniature to paint as well, especially with my techniques, just, you know, dry brushing everything. All is already primed gold. The weapons are silver, so there's also like no oil, and that's it. Pretty simple stuff. Should not take a long time to finish these guys. Probably longer time is gonna be, maybe not longer, but a little bit more time than other stuff can take the base, because the base is huge. I think it's like 60 millimeters or something. It's definitely bigger than it should be. I don't know, maybe not should. Maybe it's bigger than I expected to be, because he looks tiny on this base. Looks kind of tiny. His shoulders are super wide, so I guess this is the reason, because the shoulder-wise, yes, he should be on this kind of base. But the rest of the body and, you know, the weapons and everything, I don't think. And also, if it's placed on this huge base without, you know, any rocks or any additional stuff, it looks kind of empty, like he's walking alone in the desert or in the, you know. So I will need to spend quite some time to figure out the base, create something interesting, create something, you know, special for the Telemans. And they are 2 big bases, so I'll need to find the cork or whatever it is. And probably one is not enough. I did already, you know, these Dreadnought bases before. I think they turned out pretty good, but yeah, they took a lot of paint, a lot of glue as well. So I'm gonna need to prepare for that. I'm gonna wash this in soap after, because it's kind of you know, there are some particles of paint and pigments that are left here, so I'm gonna need to fix that. I don't want to, you know, let it dry in this way. It's kind of bad. So let's go back to our lovely Land Raider. I'm gonna wash these parts now and the inside. We'll do the dry brush when it's done. I'm gonna, in the meantime, go back to these Guardians. But first of all, let's prepare the wash. So, as I said in the beginning, and as I did in the beginning, let's use Agar Surf Shade and mix it with Layman Medium. Because this mix went good last time. The water mix definitely didn't work. As I showed you, you know, it's leaving some white stains here and there. So I'm gonna focus on the parts, the flat parts here first, and then do the side. It's gonna be a little bit more tricky to dry brush everything, just because there's more details that are already painted silver or black. But either way, I'm gonna try to be careful with that. Sorry, I'm not showing anything just because I have it very close to the face. Yeah, let's do this part now. But I'm getting closer and closer to the end, and I'm very, very happy about that. If I'm gonna finish the gold, all the gold that it's on this mini today, tomorrow is gonna be the day to focus on the details, on the black panels probably. Black panels that are on the sides here. They have to be covered with additional layer of black, just to smooth everything. Probably just to also make the line between gold and black straight as possible. Unfortunately, I do not have a mask tape, which would help me to mark exactly where should be gold, where should be, and make the line actually straight. Because by hand it's very difficult to do it, to make this line super straight. And with the tape, there's no room for error actually. So that would be the dream. Unfortunately, I do not have mask tape. I was looking for it. I had it before. I was using it before, and I couldn't find it. So that sucks a lot. But what to do? I was already checking on AliExpress. They have these mask tapes. They are cheap, but the delivery is kind of taking long times. I don't have enough time to wait. I will order it. I will just not use it in this project. Maybe next. Also, I'm thinking to buy the how are they called? These sheets that are, with, for example, custodies, emblems, and all this stuff. Transfer sheets, yeah, they're transfer sheets for custodies. I think it's gonna be, can improve a lot these big areas, big flat areas, or even if they are not so flat, like in Palace, but they are these areas on the engine. But definitely can be done. I did okay job with the color transitions, but I want some freehand. So instead of freehand, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and just buy a transfer sheet and put some nice transfers into these areas. I think it's gonna be looking good. Can improve a lot how the mini looks. I was wondering actually, does the Venerable Dreadnought are operated by custodies, right? Or they are still operated by Marines, which I would assume, or Machine Spirit, because this, honestly, I have no clue how these things works. But if any of you guys know, that would be an interesting knowledge. because I guess these flyers, these skimmers that custodies use from Fort Worth, they are operated by custodies, and that would be a pretty, normal assumption, I guess. They are only used by them. But in this case, the Land Raiders are mostly used by Marines. And how are they used and who is actually driving them? It's a pretty interesting question. For example, okay, the main usage is by Marines, but if Custodes needs, they are just kicking out these guys who are driving the tanks and, putting their guys. Or they are still Marines inside, just from some random legion. Honestly, I don't know. Brother Jagger, hello there. Hello. Welcome back. Good to see you. By the way, guys, if any of you didn't still have a chance to subscribe or follow on Twitch, you can go ahead and do that. We're trying to reach 1,000 subs on YouTube, and we are getting closer step by step. We have like 235 or 4 already after 4 years of having our channel, 3 years, I think. 4 or 5 years. 4 or 3 years. So after 10 years, we are gonna potentially reach 1,000, which is fire, amazing. And then, on Twitch, it's good to have a little bit more followers as well. It doesn't cost anything, and you can always unfollow if you decide to. Yes, we are almost done here. Very, very close. I will need to open the doors and paint the side panels. But as you see, guys, the vehicles are taking real long time. I don't know if any of you already painted the vehicles. For me, okay, it's not the first time, it's the first time with the Imperial one. And man, I'm struggling. I am struggling. Oh, actually, no. Actually, I think I've painted one vehicle before, Imperial vehicle. I think it was a Rhino, Blood Angel's Rhino for my best friend. But it was so long ago, I don't remember even painting it. I think it was 2019, something. Okay, let's open it. Let's paint the sides here. And perfect, the paint finished. And it has to dry now. So all these parts are painted, here on the side as well. Very good, very nice. Let's put it aside to dry. And in the meantime, we're gonna go back to our lovely shielded guardians that I've already started. Let's just clean this place. Okay. Take a sip of water. All right. So as usual, my next step, it's gonna be black. Black on all the parts that should be black, but also on all the parts that it's gonna be silver as a base. For that, I'm using this Abaddon black paint. Let's give it a shake. Death Metal Board Gaming, choose from German military training ground. Wow, okay. Welcome, man. Good to see you back. German military. This is serious, man. I found out that quite a lot of guys that are into Warhammer are actually military guys. I have some friends here that are working in US bases and other bases like French. So this was quite interesting to learn, honestly. And also some of our viewers are military guys from US, from apparently Germany, but I don't know. Okay, I don't know your, you know, if you are working actually for German military, just or you're in camp in German military camp. But yeah, it was you know, maybe I shouldn't be surprised. You know, it's in the end, it's a little war we are doing. So if you're military, then you know your main job is you can say war, I guess. I don't know. I think so. So maybe it shouldn't be that surprising. And most of the time, my military friends are quite competitive as well. They are they like to win, you know, these war games. I guess that's good, you know, they want to win as well in the real battles. Although I don't actually know if there's any actual, you know, ground soldiers there. Maybe some of them, yeah. Not all, for sure, not all. Pilots, some, you know, K9 units, that stuff. Good guys in general. But this military, hello, welcome back. Military stuff was always quite difficult for me because household, my home, was it was very, I don't know how to say it. Just my parents didn't want military at all, you know, to go to military for me. Fortunately, right now in Poland we have this professional military, so there's no need to go for a draft. It's not something that everybody has to do. Like before, I think it was like 2 years or something that you had to do as an obligatory thing. Right now, I don't think that's the case. I mean, I'm sure that's not the case, that there's just professional army. But yeah, from my home, there was always like a pretty strong no to go in this direction. And I get that, you know, I mean, you're risking your life and nobody wants to lose their child, but it is not actually really like that, you know, this military stuff. I was in army, was drafted in 2006. Okay, there we go. So it was still a mandatory drafting, right? Because I believe I was still in school when they changed that. and right now, until now, it stays the same. There is just a professional army. So I don't think the military actually is like, you know, ground fights and a lot of battles and a lot of like possibilities to die. I'm not in German military, just working for them, clearing the fields, etc. Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. And there is like right now, Dev said, there's a lot of stuff to do beside fighting, right? Like you are clearing the fields. I have friends that are working for some French bases, and they are just the mechanics for fighter jets, right? And they will never go to war. They will never be like drafted as soldiers. They don't know how to fight, but they are working for military because they have skills. They know how to fix planes. They know how to repair, you know, fighter jets or whatever, and they are doing that. I have friends who are working military who are checking for bombs in the planes, in the, like, you know, this political planes or whatever, you know, some transports, all that stuff. And you know, he was in Afghanistan, he was in Iraq, he was in, you know, many places like this. Nothing happened, you know. He's taking his dog. They're going into the plane, checking if there's any substance that can blow up. If he comes back alive, it means there was nothing. So far nothing happened. It was good. But also he is saying like, look, if there would be something, it would be already detected in the plane that are flying out. It's not like, you know, you can easily pack a substance that is gonna blow up and land with it. If it's gonna blow up, it's gonna blow up in the air. Why you would, you know, bring something that's gonna blow up and blow up in the airport? Doesn't make any sense. So he has to do that. He's used to that, and there is not like he doesn't feel like a real threat doing his job, which for us normies are, you know, damn, it's like super dangerous. You're gonna be splashed or, you know, blown up. That's not really the case, apparently, you know. Plus there is a lot of like trainings, stuff like physical training, and the guys do not really need to be soldiers to do that. They can be like personal trainers or just physical trainers or whatever. And actual, you know, fighting on the field, it's limited to very, very small units of actual professionals who know how to fight, how to, you know, move, how to use the stuff on the ground. And also it's not like constant fighting, right? It's not like you're I joined voice chat on Discord, maybe someone will join me. Okay. Yeah, I can. If anybody wants, I guess you are painting right now, so if anybody wants to join Iggy, then you're welcome there. So I don't know, guys. Probably you know much better than me what's going on in Ukraine right now. But it's also not like they want to lose the soldiers, right? So they have to retreat from the occupied places, like from their bases or from whatever the Russians, they have to follow them, shooting them, etc. But in general, there's so much new technology that is, you know, fighting in the air, the drones without pilots, the rockets that are hitting the other rockets that are coming. Like if you are in a pretty developed country with a good defense, I don't think there is like a lot of risk of getting hit. There's a lot of risk if of course if the invasion is huge, like right now what's happening in Palestine and Lebanon. It's pretty hard to watch, you know. That's terrible what's happening there, and this is exactly what, you know, I'm saying, like prodolowany, dużo trzeba wstrząsnąć tubką słoiczkiem przed malowaniem. So he's asking if you have to hard shake before painting. So what jeśli jest ok, odpowiem po angielsku. So I believe so, yes. I think you should shake pretty hard before using it, just to be sure, especially with contrast paints, because contrast paints, I can show it to you right now. For example, I have this contrast apothecary white, and the pigment is down, like on the bottom. So to be like, if you take it like this, it's gonna still be on the bottom. But as Brother Jagger said, you can use vortex mixer. I have it right here. I can show it to you. Right, you can use vortex mixer. I have the ball, metal ball inside. So I will mix it. And slowly the pigment is coming up. I'll give it like a stronger shake, and already it's gone, you know. So depends the paint that you're using. Some paints do not require a lot of shaking, some paints do require a lot of shaking, so it's better, you know, it's better to use more than it's necessary than be sorry later, you know. Balls and vortex are a nice combo. Yeah. I think it's the best combo, you know. The thing is, I bought the balls, but unfortunately they were not stainless steel, and good thing I tested that out before. And basically just after one night, all the water that I was testing it was orange from the rust. But you know, okay, the mixing is important, but more important is what you do after with the paint, in my opinion. So for example, when you put it on the wet palette, I have wet palette here, right? You see? Then, in my opinion, you should always try to mix it with water, especially citadel paints. I don't have a contrast, just regular and some shades, so you would say about 1 minute baking. If you are using the hand, I think like no, 1 minute is quite a lot. If you didn't use paint for a long time, like for example, you had 1 week or 2 weeks break from painting with this paint, then maybe yes. But if you are using like it every day, then a few seconds is totally enough. You can see, for example, how is the flow of the paint, especially if it's in the pot, like in the original Citadel pot. You see how is the paint exactly. If it splits rake to medium and pigment, or if the flow is right. You can see that quite easily in this Citadel paints. This conversation starts to be dirty. Yeah, it really depends on how much figures you shake it. Yeah, okay. This is true as well. But I wouldn't be so strict to the time. You have to shake it for exactly 2 minutes, because maybe some paints, they will never be good. Maybe they are already trashed, in bad condition, and even 5 minutes will not do anything. So open the pot, see how is the paint. After some time, you will start to learn how to judge if the paint is alright or not. Most importantly, just see if it's one flowing color, or it's separated into like 2 colors. For example, sometimes it can happen and it separates to a medium and the pigment, so then it needs some more breaking. They're brand new, so I guess lots of shaking. Well, if they are brand new, it should be less shaking, because they are new. The older paints actually should be shaken more, because the paints, they can age, Yeah, ball shaking vibrations. Okay. It really depends. For example, I bought recently a new paint, and it was unusable. It was super separated. The pigment was completely, I think it was like dry or something. It sticked to itself. The medium was completely separated, and I was shaking it. I was using water to dilute it. I was using vortex. I was using everything. It was even on the stream. We did it on the Sunday evening stream, and I was showing what happened to the paint, and it was like I couldn't rescue it anymore. There was nothing I could do. It would basically, like, if I could pick it up with a stick, and it would hold to the stick, and then around that was medium or water, whatever. So this was completely destroyed paint, and it was brand new. But there are some paints that are, when you open it, they have beautiful flow. They are not separated from the medium, and you can use it straight away from the pot. All man needs in the morning. Yeah, bossy. Oh my god. We are talking about painting, guys. But as I was saying, I think it's more important what you do with the paint on the wet palette. So when you're done shaking, is it 1 minute, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, however you need. It's more important if you're gonna mix and how much of water you're gonna do or add to the paint. Because if you're using straight from the pot, especially Citadel, the paint is unfortunately very, very thick, and it is too thick, and it's gonna cover your details on the mini, and it's not gonna look correctly, It's better if you thin down to like a milky flow paint. Thin down with water. I'm using distilled water. I don't think that matters, actually. I mean, I didn't see the difference. It's more about amount of water you are using. Sometimes if you dilute too much, then you will need more layers. If you do not dilute enough, then it's gonna be too thick. And there's nothing wrong with just painting multiple layers. It's actually a good practice. And the finish is gonna be much more matte and smooth and nice than just one layer. And that's what I'm gonna do, I paint black here with quite diluted black, and I'm gonna paint again. So 2 layers are gonna be completely enough to cover these areas. And mixing with water is actually the thing that you have to learn, because it's not so obvious as it seems sometimes. You have to be really mindful how much water, how much paint you are adding, so it's not like too flowy or too thick and all that stuff. Let's check how it's going, the drying stuff. Looks like it's dry. And in this part, I'm gonna take it's not dry. There are some parts still drying. All right, let's wait a little more. I'm gonna continue with black. Let's add a second layer, as I was saying. So, for example, these parts are gonna be silver, so the second layer is not necessary. There's gonna be the layer of silver instead. But all the black parts need 2 layers. I think I express myself pretty extensively. I don't know how to say it. In terms of this shaking paints, and hopefully it helps. Yeah, there we go. What about null oil? Does it require shaking? Yes, it does. It does. And actually, this is a good point that you're bringing, because the wash paints, shades or whatever, they're shades, okay. They contain like different chemicals inside, and one of the chemical makes the paint, the pigment, like glowy or glossy, and the other is matte, and there's some water, of course, the regular pigment. And if you will not shake it, then you will take just the paint from the top. So for example, it's gonna make like layers, and the top layer is very glossy, the bottom is like matte, and then there's some pigment and water. So it's gonna be, if it's not mixed, then after using it, you can see a very glossy finish, which of course is not something we want as a shade. Or sometimes it's not sticky. So definitely I recommend shaking the shades. Non-oil, agri shade, all that stuff should be shaken quite well. But it's not like 1 or 2 minutes. I do something like this, like, I don't know, 5 seconds, right? And it's gonna be fine. If you are afraid that it's not enough, or you're afraid of some unwanted effect, you can always test on just a small fragment of the mini and see if it's gonna actually work the way you want. And then if it's, for example, like glossy, it means that maybe it requires a little bit more shaking. All right, so the second layer of all black is done. So here's gonna be silver, but some of the places here are gonna be black, and then some highlights, gray highlights. Okay. If you want to ask more questions, then thanks a lot. I am waiting for lamp delivery, and I will start my pretty much first project today. Wow. Okay, so you're completely new to the hobby. That's awesome, man. Really glad to hear that. So that's actually good that you're here, because we have nice community on Discord. If you want to join, you can ask questions there, and we're gonna answer them. We, as me or my brother, or some of our community members, they can help you. There's a lot of stuff. We have quite a lot of good painters that know what they are doing as well. Are you a new to painting or to hobby in general? You like to play maybe, or this is like complete new hobby? I'm always curious how the people get into the hobby, because I think it changed quite a lot. Mostly because of the video games, I remember I'm in the hobby like 15 or 16 years, I don't remember, something like this. So quite a long time already. And it was the word of mouth, how we say. So one friend was playing, okay, let's give it a try. Like his father bought him these miniatures, this box. Okay, it looks pretty cool. Let's give it a try. And then we found a shop that sells it, that organize some games, have terrain, have another guys playing. So it was done like this. But I'm curious how it works right now. When a shade or wash is not used for a while, you can see the lamination of paint. That means you need to shake it really hard to get it bind together. Yeah, exactly. And it happens with shades especially. But as you mentioned, it's you didn't use it for a long time. I guess if it was in the shop on the shelf, then that's the case as well. New to painting and hobby, well, I used to play Warhammer games in my youth, but never really went into lore. Started out Horse Heresy audiobooks, went to WK Store, did some basic painting workshop. Warhammer Store, like maybe JW, I'm not sure. But yeah, okay. So you were already familiar with it from young ages. I see. That's actually quite common. People take break, or like they used to do that a little bit as young, and then they are coming back to the hobby as adults. So actually that's a common thing as well. To be fair, it was quite similar with us. Maybe not exactly, because we used to have actually like armies and was playing back then quite a lot. But life happened, and as teenagers, okay, we still could ask for presents for birthdays and Christmas and all that stuff. We get some money from the grandma, so we were just buying minis with this money. But then when you're in university, start working and start taking care of the family and in life, basically, you think, okay, well, maybe I will not buy box of minis, that I'm gonna save for apartment or whatever. Then it's hard to keep with the hobby, because it's not the cheapest one as well. And there's just I had a break also from it, especially during my university times and in high school. I always loved it. I was always curious to to go to the shop and see the minis and, you know, just look at the shelves. But I didn't actually bought anything or paint anything or did anything with that. Okay, some shoulder pads, the second layer of black. Cool. I only used to Warhammer play video games. Minis is brand new for me. I see, okay, don't want to spend much for a start, so I'm starting with 10 kill team models to paint. Damn, kill team is awesome, man. Okay, I understand now. You play Warhammer video games, yeah. For us, the video games were addition to the minis, so we basically get to know video games, Warhammer video games from the minis. We found that there's like Soulstorm, for example, Dawn of War, yeah, like this strategy game. We used to play that a lot. The Space Marine, I didn't play ever in my life, but I heard good opinions, especially about the new one. Total War, Warhammer Total War. This is another one that's, I think, you know, introducing people to Warhammer, especially Age of Sigmar and War Fantasy. So there's quite a lot of stuff. I think it is smart, you know, starting with something small. Kill team. What kill team do you have, by the way? Do you have the newest box with Vespids and how are these guys from Astra Militarum? I don't remember now. Something on S. Something on S. I don't remember now. Yeah, but kill team. I heard this. It's a good system. I mean, I played the old one. I played a few games with, I think, Eldars. I tried with Croods. Some of my friends, they have minis. They could borrow me, and I was playing kill team. Yeah, in my experience, the best, the most fun is, of course, playing. I'm painting just to play with painted stuff, let's say, because it really makes difference, in my opinion. When you start to play when you start to play with painted armies on nice mats, you know, colorful boards, painted terrains against painted opponent team, it started to look just epic. We were talking about this with my friend lately because he was like, he finally got back to the painting. He has a lot of stuff, a lot of armies, and most of it is gray. And lately he was like, okay, I finally got some energy to paint. I'm removing my pile of shame, the gray pile of shame, and I really believe this is the way in the hobby. Like, you buy a new box, you should just start painting it. And if you're, you know, new to the hobby, you don't know how to paint, that's okay. Just use base 3 colors, and there's a lot of tutorials on the internet how to paint easy, how to paint for the beginners. Got the commandos of second-hand market already assembled, so I can focus on painting only. I only played one introduction game of Combat Patrol in local game store. Okay. Combat Patrol is a good introduction system. So you're taking very like light approach so far. You don't want to spend too much. You just want to try if it's something for you. I think that's pretty smart. I've seen lots of people on Reddit buying lots of stuff and not painting. I'd get overwhelmed by thousands of spurs. Yeah, I mean, that's how it goes, unfortunately for us. JW Games Workshop is releasing something new, something amazing. Everybody gets hyped. Most of people buy it, especially if it's something that is for your system or for your army. And then it comes, something happened, you don't have time to paint. Then okay, well, at least I will assemble it, I guess, at least to play, which usually takes less time than painting. So we assemble it, and then when you start to play, you found out that hey, I don't need to paint it, right? It's assembled, so it's working. But that's the hellhole, because if you do that once, then you do that twice, then 3 times, 4 times, and you're just continuing this spiral, buying stuff, assembling it, and playing without painting. And that's how we end up in this challenge 1020 unpainted minis. Is exactly that. This was my addiction, just buying minis, painting them, because yeah, it was not necessary. I can play with unpainted, right? And I want to finish this cycle. Yeah, I'm not into rush or hype, trying to take it easy to see if something I like. Yeah, you can always paint it later. Just wanted to get some hobby that doesn't require looking at screens. Yeah, I mean, that's another part that is good with the hobby. Not looking at screens is one thing. Like while painting, of course, you have to look at the mini. But another part is you are actually going to meet with people, play with other people, get some new friends and contacts. It's really enjoyable, to spend time with playing, especially when you start to get into more depth of Warhammer's world, when you start to play campaigns, when you are actually playing the stuff that this is designed for. There are some awesome board games like Blackstone Fortress, like Curse City. There are some systems that have huge campaign lore, and you can do a lot of stuff like that takes months to resolve. Like you're playing against 10 people in the same system. You're developing your guys and like Necromunda, right? So there's so much you can do. So I'm just happy that we got a new member in the community, and I hope you will enjoy it. And it actually takes me away from the screen. I mean, not right now because I'm streaming actually, but I'm not looking at the screen all the time. The point is, instead of playing video games on the weekend or in the evening, I usually just sit, paint, relax. I can listen to something. I can listen to audiobooks. I can listen to podcasts or whatever. I will not watch because it's hard to watch and paint. I'm meeting friends, spending 4 or 5 hours playing these big battles, or playing few smaller games like Necromunda, like Spearhead, or Kill Team, Underworlds. There's just so much to do. So yeah, I mean, I hope you'll get into it. It depends where you're from. If you have a nice, local community, local shops, or maybe some guys who are in your city playing, then it's much easier to connect. Since you went to a store and had some introduction game for Warhammer, then I guess it's possible in your area, which is also important. I was struggling here, in the beginning. I was telling about this yesterday. I couldn't find or even I didn't look. I thought it's just impossible. Nobody will be into Warhammer in the place I am right now. And I was totally wrong. There's like there are rotations, but usually around 20 people into different systems. So when we play Necromunda campaign, it's like 10 people or so. For Heresy that I'm playing, we have like 4 or 5, which is completely enough for, you know, variations on what you're gonna play against. 40k, it's similar. I think it's also around like 10 maybe. So I was totally wrong thinking that nobody is playing here. Nobody knows this hobby. But apparently in the Western world, definitely it is more popular, I guess. It is not so like stigmatized. I don't know how to say it. Like, it is very expensive in Poland to play, to use this hobby, you know. Let's not be shy about that. It's just an expensive hobby, especially when you get deep into it and you start collecting multiple armies. And you know, most of the people that are in for years already know about that. But it is real fun. It is real fun. I work from computer like quite a lot as well. More than probably 50% of my work is from the computer, so it's a good break, you know, to stand. Not actually not to stand up because I'm still sitting in front of my desk. So this is actually pretty bad for my spine and neck and everything, but pretty good for interacting with other people. Which, you know, guys, I'm introverted and it's not very easy. But if we have the same subject, the same topic, like this miniature painting, playing, all that stuff, it's getting easier to meet people and talk and enjoy the time. But that's me, you know. I know some of you guys are extroverted and don't have problems with meeting new people, so I'm very, very jealous about that. And good for you. All right, so I've done this first layer of black on the second guy, and let's do the body as well. And I will check in a moment how is drying of Land Raider. I believe it should be dry already, but I'm gonna just check to be sure after painting this first layer here. I'm quite happy with the progress I've done today. Okay, we have still 30 minutes or so. Maybe me and Jagger will meet and paint in the future. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. I guess you're living close to each other, so so that helps. I wish to do that more often, but the thing is, we have a community that is mostly painting. Like, they are just painting, and few of the guys are playing, but the community is mostly painters, you know, hobby painters, and you know, they meet every week on Mondays. They meet up in the evening and they paint for like 2-3 hours. And I've been there. It is nice, it is fun, but the problem is I am working afternoon till evening, almost every day. So it's never possible for me, almost never, to go there and you know, join. And when I have day off, in the afternoon, I'm not really, you know, I want to spend time with my family too. So I would not do like, okay, I have one day off, I can spend time with family, but instead I'm going to paint with, you know, some random guys, or, you know, people that I don't really know well. So that's why of the reasons why I'm doing these streams, because actually, you know, you guys are here. It's like painting together for me, because maybe some of you guys are at work or not painting, but you know, it's good to imagine that you are actually painting with me, and you know, just hanging around, and we are talking about Warhammer, we are talking about our hobby. It's like I think in English there are some streams from Games Workshop which are called a hobby hangout, which are exactly that, like, you know, people meet up and talk about hobby and paint together. So we can say that these you know, morning streams for me are a hobby hangout. I'm hanging out with you just, you know, through the screens and through the text, but it is already something compared to, you know, just painting alone in the room. It's not that fun. It is not fun. And I remember these meetings that I was talking about in the evening. They are nice, you know. There's like 10 people or something, totally different backgrounds, totally different, also different people than the group from playing, because there's a lot of women, some kids, you know. It's like mostly focused on painting, and they are new to the hobby, so they like to learn, they like to know new stuff that's happening, what they can improve, what they can do better in their painting. So it's very nice thing that my friend is organizing. Just I'm a little bit, you know, sad that I cannot join regularly, but that's okay. As you see, I found an outlet. I found just the morning streams to be working for me instead. So, oh shit. And I'm actually progressing with my paints, which is awesome, because, you know, in the beginning I was like, 1000 is quite a crushing number, you know. 1000 unpainted minis is my wardrobe is, it's just packed till the last place. There's like no more place for minis. Okay, maybe there's a little bit for a few more, although I have another wardrobe, so yes, I have a room for more. But I need to start painting, because it cannot stay like this. 1000 unpainted minutes looks so bad. Looks impressive in terms of like amount, how it looks on the table, yeah, but it is not impressive at all in terms of like, okay, it's whatever, it's just a gray plastic. And as you can see, I have 969 already painted, so 31 miniatures done in this challenge, which I'm super happy about. It's already 3%. I've done 3%. That's awesome. Okay, I think it's dry. Yeah, it's totally dry. Let's add dry brush. So I do use Vortex Mixer. It's on the side. I'm using this time Metal Alchemy, Citrine Alchemy, the name of the paint, from scale 75, as I always use for my custodies and dry brushes. So let's do it. I will take this time smaller brush, sorry, because there is much smaller space here. I would not fit big brush in these areas. Also, I want to be a little bit more careful. There are areas that are already painted. Not like, probably I can correct it and, you know, paint it again. but let's not add work to this process. What armies do you have? So for 40k I have Eldars, Necrons, Custodies, and I started Tau, mostly, I mean, only Croods. I have a little bit of Tyranids, and from 40k I think that's it. I have Age of Sigmar Sylvanet, so these are like 3 Dryads, all that stuff. I have few ganks for Necromunda, Cultists, Vansar and Goliath. I have a full collection for, what is it called, Blackstone Fortress and Curse City, with some additional stuff printed by my brother. I do have Song of Ice and Fire, which is system that is based on how is it called? Game of Thrones, and I have Stark army. So winter is coming is my theme, definitely. Well, do I have something else? I don't know. I'll have to check. I like to keep it, small, let's say. Not too many armies. Because I don't like to learn new models. I like simple armies and that are easy to learn. There's not many variations between the armies, like alliances and all that stuff that are happening in Imperium, right? You can connect armies between Imperium. I don't like them. I don't like that. The collection is, it's quite extensive. I have like a couple thousand points for my main armies. Maybe 10,000 for Necrons and Eldars, maybe. I would need to check. Probably around 10-ish. For Custodies, they are expensive points, but much less models. Couple thousand as well if I paint everything. How do you compare Ice and Fire minis models and system versus 40k? That's an interesting question. So first of all, I have to give up, definitely 40k models and 40k models are more detailed and they are done very well. Which doesn't mean necessarily that Song of Ice and Fire is done bad, it's just different. I think the minis are a little bit bigger, like scale, just a little bit. And most of it, they are not, like, you don't need to assemble them. They come already assembled. They don't need to be assembled. They are like just fixed mini, one pose, and that's it. So it could be seen as downside, but at the same time, it could be seen as something good, because you are ready to play straight away. You open the box and you play, which actually for me I like, because I've already assembled a lot of minis, and I don't need to do that again, right? I just want to enjoy the game, especially because most of I do is I like to play. So let me enjoy the game, and I love I love the Warhammer minis for their details, and they're really good. I do think that the enjoyment from playing is actually higher from Song of Ice and Fire. If you are playing like once, let's say once per 2 weeks, once per month, I think it's very nice. Depends how much stuff you have for your 40k. If you have like a lot of armies, then you can enjoy it, you know, more times a week or once a week. The thing is with these two systems that are totally, you know, different, they do not change everything in Song of Ice and Fire constantly. They release an army, okay, they released like Martals or whatever, like a new army recently, and they just keep it like this for whole season, you know. They released, maybe they will do small FAQ or not, it will just stay like this. If you want to play tournaments, maybe there is some specific rules in tournaments that you cannot use some characters or whatever, but there is no need for like following up what's happening, and there is not like so many releases that you cannot keep up with what's going on, which happens with 40k. Unfortunately, 40k rules wise is very, very difficult in my opinion. Not because it's like you don't understand it. No, you can understand, you can follow, and you can learn, no problem. The problem is the amount of armies and the amount of rules you should know and understand is quite large, and it makes the thing even worse when it is changing constantly. When you have to, you know, you know something, you think you know something, but what happened? They released FAQ, they released errata, they released new point changes, they released something, blah blah blah, and some things suddenly start to become much better or worse. You are confused why it is not working like it says in the codex. No, because the codex was changed and is actually not applicable for this unit, or you know, there are things that are just making me crazy in 40k. And okay, I was trying to be a casual gamer, but if your friend group is quite competitive, then you know, then you should be up to date basically, because you will get beaten every time. And this was the case that I just switched the systems. I still, you know, have my armies. I'm still ready to play in the future maybe, but I'm not that into it like I used to be. I used to, you know, watch battle reports on the internet. I used to, you know, follow the rules, follow the changes, follow the tournaments, how they play on the tournaments, blah blah blah. And yeah, it was, in one moment I was like, fuck man, I'm not at school, I'm not at university, I don't want to spend all my time learning new tactics, new rules that are gonna be changed very soon anyway, right? So this was my like I would say like biggest upset about 40k. With so many models and armies, it must be a hell of for them to try to balance the AI. Exactly. I understand why they are doing it, right? One of the things they are doing it just to, you know, make sales, because if you make something good on paper, then there's a possibility that more people want to buy it, right? Like if you are into competitive scene and suddenly one unit start to be super powerful, then you want this unit and you will buy this unit. Either original or, you know, already painted or from the second hand, right? So this is one thing. The other thing, okay, maybe they actually care about balance and trying to have like equal matchups or whatever, but I don't think 40k can be balanced, you know. There is just, the rules are too complex. They interact with each other in a way that it's just impossible to balance it. Because always you will find a person who will find the loophole, who will find, you know, this unit is gonna do like this in these circumstances and it's gonna, you know, completely break the game. and take advantage of the situation, right? As a player, if you're in a friend group that it's similar minded to you and you don't want to play in the meta, let's say, then you can just create a list that is, whatever. You're not following the trends, you're not following what's strong, what's not strong. You're building the list that is cool for you, and maybe it's thematic and that stuff, and your friend is doing the same, and you're in the same page, and you're playing just okay. The models we have, the models we enjoy, and then okay, maybe it's not balanced, but at least you have fun. You did what you wanted. You expected, not so great things, but all is fair and square. But in some cases, like I said, I had there's too many armies, too many units the field at the same time. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's stuff, like there are systems that are balanced, and you can have a lot of units, a lot of armies, a lot of like models on the battlefield, and it's still gonna be quite balanced, or it can swing either way in most moments. Like I'm exploring right now, Horus Heresy, and it is much more balanced system than any system I've played so far. And it's because the system is based on Space Marines. Like 90% of the armies are Space Marines, so of course it's gonna be easy to balance Space Marines between each other. Just tweak a little bit some of the rules for different chapters, and then they are basically the same army with a little bit different interaction in shooting, a little bit different interaction in combat or whatever. In my case, I'm playing Custodes, and they are quite strong compared to regular Marines, but still the game is designed, like in the gameplay, to be more balanced, and it still can swing. It's not because you have to score very small amount of points throughout the game or in the end of the game. And if you're well strategically, if you play well strategically, then you can still outplay Custodes because they have less models, less units. They are more tough, more powerful, but it's not all about that. So definitely, it's one of the most balanced system. I didn't even know that Horus Heresy is a different system. I just thought it was collection models for people who got into books. No, it is actually a totally separate system. What's interesting, it is based on 7th edition, I believe, of 40k. At least most of it, with some tweaks, because officially this system is taken by JW like not so long ago, like a few years ago. Before it was a Forge World system, you can say. They used the 7th edition rules, but it was not like official system from JW and Games Workshop. But they bought it, and they are like, this is one of the flagship systems. They have 40k, Age of Sigmar, and Horus Heresy as their main system, and recently Old Words. So also the old system that used to be played on the square basis. So especially if you're into the books, you listen to audiobooks, then maybe actually this is a better system for you, because you can relate. You know the characters, you know what was happening. The new miniatures are absolutely beautiful, in my opinion, and you can basically do all the chapters you want, because the miniatures are the same. You just switch a little bit the shoulder pads in Marines, right, or heads, and you have your favorite chapter done. Plus they have, you know, this all Forward War line with Primarchs. You can buy all the Primarchs and they are playable, you know, you can play with them. They have amazing Titans and Knights, so these huge miniatures that are also playable. You can play Custodes, which are, you know, the same in 40 and 30k, which was my intent from the beginning. I wanted the army that is possible to take in both of the systems. I mean, you can actually play 30k models in 40k. I don't think anybody would say anything if it's not a tournament. Maybe there is a little bit less variation of units in 30k, because I think they went crazy in 40k in terms of like totally new units, new designs. And 30k it's much more based. You have like, okay, you have Devastators, they have this kind of weapons. You have tactical, they have bolters. You have some, you know, maybe one special weapon or whatever. Terminators and tanks, and you just stack up on these things and you just build up around this. Yeah, I lately I enjoy a lot this Horus Heresy journey that I've started with Custodes. If you are new to the channel, you can check out that basically all I've been painting so far was Fort Ward or regular stuff for Custodes to play Horus Heresy. So yeah, this is the thing. And they are releasing a new army. I mean, new old army, let's say. They redesigned this Adeptus Mechanicus, right? They created a new Mechanicum army, which is absolutely beautiful. Amazing models. They are very tempting, you know. But I have to stop myself from buying new stuff because it's I have too much already. I have way too much. And there's always be something new that catches my eye and I want it, but okay. For people who are tired with 40k, I actually really do recommend switching to 30k and trying out. The beginning for me was tough just because of the amount of rules that you have to, you know, remember. But they are actually, you know, quite repetitive throughout all the system, so they are not that different in the end from 40k. There is less impact with terrains as well, because, you know, everybody has free up save anyway, so you don't need to hide. Because also not many things has AP strong enough to you know, take out your armor straight up. So you're relying on the free up save or 2-up save quite a lot, without worrying if you know, something is taking the armor away. If I finish Commando Kill Team, I might go for the starter set for Kill Team they released yesterday, if price isn't too crazy. You talk about the yes, I remember the science, Tempestus Science against how it's called, Vespids, or is it the new one, the newest one? Because they also like announced that they are gonna release Ratlings, Ratling versus Orcs. They have like Tanbustas inside. But maybe they released yesterday. I really don't remember. I remember they released something yesterday. I think they showed uh, the squats. Yeah, the bikes for the squats. But if there was something else there, I do not remember. I didn't even. I don't think I checked it. No, that was the big started set yesterday. On a smaller sets. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Space Marines versus Plug Marines. These are the old models from a Heroes starter set, like a Heroes set. Sorry. You could buy these models separately, not separately. Like you could buy a box that has like one Marine, and it was a random one. So you could buy a box and you didn't know what's inside, basically. And there was 8 Space Marines, I think, and 8 Plug Marines. And people were hunting, these models for a while. They were more expensive as well, because you never know what you get inside. And yes, I remember now. They created the kill team with MDF terrains inside, and these two armies, not armies, like units, right? So this was quite an interesting move, honestly. And I think a lot of people were surprised, maybe upset, because these models were hard to get for a while. Probably a lot of people spent a lot of money to get them, and just to have some more variation in their models, in their armies. And now you can get them pretty easily. So that's very interesting. Did you play Kill Team, by the way? Yeah, I really like these models when I was looking at them, but couldn't be bothered to look for them online and gamble. If this one is around $70-80, I might get it. Well, $70-80. I guess it's possible, right? I guess it's possible, because it's only 2. Yeah, I think it can be cheaper actually, because the new Kill Team box that has Vespids and Scions, it was quite expensive. I think it was more than $100. Like, but there was a lot of terrain inside, so that was that what makes the price that high. But in this case, the MDF terrain might actually make the things much cheaper. That's why I got the commandos. I love that pretty much every character is different and have some kind of specialization. Yeah. This is part of Kill Team that is quite awesome. You have like 2 types of the build of the same model usually. So one model can be built in 2 ways, or to have 2 kind of weapons. But if you love character building and customization and different that kind of stuff, then I do recommend Necromunda. In my opinion, honestly, this is the best system that Games Workshop created to play, to have fun, to enjoy. And so far, I didn't change my mind yet. There are other good systems, very good fun systems, but the best one, I'm always saying, it's Necromunda, man. You can do so much inside. There's like barely any limits to how you build your gang. The game is so funny, like you just have amazing time playing. Funny shit's happening all the time. The rolls are crazy because you don't rely on rolling multiple dice at the same time. You're most of the time rolling just 1 dice and maybe some ammo dice or some specialist die. And the odds are not in your favor most of the time. If something stupid can happen, it's probably gonna happen. I was browsing through Necromunda models on WK Store, and I really like some models. Yeah, they have amazing gangs, honestly. And the Necromunda is like so flexible. There's so much inside that you can basically use any models you like. You have the commandos, and you can play with these commandos in Necromunda. That's a non-issue. I think for any Necromunda player that would be a non-issue. If you want, you say, okay, my commandos are actually, I don't know, Palanite enforcers, and you just use orc models and play them as Palanite enforcers or Orlogs or whatever. I think nobody will say anything, like, or people will say, oh, that's cool idea, that's amazing, let's do it. You can play them as Venators. Venators are like hired guns, and who says, what kind of ethnicity or what kind of race have Venators? You can decide. You just say, okay, my Venators are orcs. They have these kind of weapons, and that's it, So, for example, I bought specifically the same way, like I'm saying right now. I'm telling you about the orcs. I did the same with my Kroots. I bought a kill team of Kroots specifically to play them as nomads. I think they can fit these nomads perfectly, because nomads are there is a lot of coats and cloaks and like desert stuff, and Kroots can be done in this way pretty easily. They look kind of nomady like, and especially with the new stuff that they got for 40k, basically they are like designed to be nomads. They have these crew dogs that can be mounts and replacement for bugs that nomads have. So all this stuff, it's like perfectly designed for Necromunda. Of course, they are a little bit bigger, Maybe they have a little bit bigger bases than nomads, but believe me, nobody cares, because this system is based to just have fun, to do crazy things, to do crazy scenarios, to die, and Necromunda is all about shitty guys being shitty and getting shit on. So this is something that is really making me say that Necromunda is just the best system created by Games Workshop. And like you said, you want to buy a new box of Kill Team, the Space Marines versus Plague Marines. This is actually might not be eligible to play in Necromunda, like one of the fewer Kill Teams that probably are a little bit more difficult to accept, because Marines are super powerful. We played some scenarios where we like faced Marines, and one Marine could basically kill all the gang, because the gangs that are in Necromunda are actually like shitters, like complete garbage guys. And Marines are, this elite warriors of the galaxy, so they can destroy a whole gang. But if you say like, okay, my Marines are played by like an enforcer or whatever, then maybe nobody will say nothing. Also, the enforcers, they usually play with a lot of bolters, so it's quite fitting. But I would rather recommend playing with other stuff. Vansar Tech Hunters designs I really like. Yeah, I have the Vansars. Tech Hunters are the guys, the new guys from the Necromunda starter, or the flying guys, the prospects. I can even show you. I think it's behind here. I'm finishing my sister squad. Let's go, Iggy. Nice job. now I'm playing campaign with my Vansar. These are my models for Ashways. And you know, I have these prospects. We had to fight, like, house rule them because they were quite powerful and they are actually not vehicles. So we are playing them as mounts to be fair with others, you know. So I have these crazy guys, like I'm playing 4 guys on the skateboards. They're so bad. Plus few, you know, guys like these Archaeotech with Spider Rig. Basically, my theme for my Vansar Vansar gang right now in the campaign is Combat Vansar. Combat Vansar all the way. Beside this guy, he has a rad cannon, right? And the rad cannon is basically like a pinning machine. It doesn't do anything for me. No damage, no flesh wounds from rat phage. Basically, it's trash gun, but it has a big blast, so you know it pins guys, which you know it's quite helpful. Plus, I'm using a Ridge Runner, who looks like this, and it's just a Lego carve of my son. So I asked him, "Hey, do you need it? Like, can I use it? Because I don't have any, models of cars or like transports or anything." So yeah, of course. So I'm using this as my Ridge Runner. It's quite unthematic. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty bad. It's looking pretty bad. I would like to have a nice mini painted and some thematic, you know, Vansar vehicle, but it is what it is for now. So, can you play Necromunda with 1 box team? Yes, of course. You can play, if you buy, for example, the base Vansar box, which has 10 miniatures, you can play with them, and you can create basically full gang. Usually, if you spend enough credits, credits are like a currency in Necromunda, you can build the gang with even 5 guys. The thing that makes your gang more expensive is actually equipment and XP and development. So if you're playing campaign, you receive XP, you can buy new stuff, like stuff that is gonna be like placed on your mini, or like you have to imagine that, okay, this, for example, this weapon has infrasight now, this weapon has this advancement, or this weapon has extra ammo, or your guy has better grenades. So it doesn't really matter what you have on the mini, it's just a reference. A lot of stuff is written on the card of your model, like with statistics and all that stuff. And if you're playing campaign, you know, it's gonna change every game, because some of the guys will die, some of the guys will get injuries, so they are gonna be worse or better. If you get a lot of money, then you can buy some better weapons, but basically you can stick to your 10 models for a while. And then if you decide, okay, it's a fun system, I like the miniatures, you can buy the next box. For example, these prospects with Augmex or Archaeotechs, let's say, just to have a little more accurate model, right? To not proxy, because actually these prospects are built to be all the time on the flying boards, which is, you know, quite unusual, but okay, whatever, they did like this. So with the regular set of 10 guys, the basic one, you cannot have them. You can have Archaeotechs and just say, okay, this guy has Spider Rig, this guy has like special weapon or plasma pistol or whatever. But the guys on the desks are pretty unique. But they are not necessary. You can, you know, you can skip you can skip buying them and just play the regular gang. If you like Vansar, then check Spire Hunters. They look even cooler. Yeah, the Spire Hunters are like a new gang for this super under hive or whatever. They are very cool. I wish I have them. But maybe somewhere in the future. I honestly can play them, right? Just with different models. Maybe I can say Spire Hunters are Marines or something, or Eldars. For example, last campaign we had a guy who were playing Venators, so these bounty hunters, with kill team box of Eldars, but not the tracking Scorpion ones, the ones with these Corsairs. And it was cool, you know. Everybody agreed. This is not breaks any rules, or you know, they're just regular models. And what matters more is what's on your fighter's card. You know, the stats. So yeah, I do recommend playing Necromunda if you like to have fun, to go crazy. If you like individualism and characters development, then the campaign is definitely something for you. It's kind of like, I don't know if any of you guys played RPG, like Dungeons and Dragons or even Warhammer role-playing games, but with the gang, you know, because you can make some lore about it. You can, you know, actually develop your guys. It's not so focused on one guy. It's like you have 10 or 5 or whatever, 6 guys. You can buy new guys, so it's a little bit more than just one, like in role-playing game, and it's a skirmish game, so it's the activation is 1 by 1. It's not like one full army is activating and then all full army is activating. It's just, you know, you do something and then your opponent reacts, and then you, and then your opponent, and so on. So I think this is also like something nice and fresh in playing Warhammer games. Interesting. I will check out some gameplay of Necromunda on YouTube, and I think about getting it after Commandos. Look, I can recommend something that I think you should watch if you want to check out Necromunda game. Check out Tabletop Titans' first Necromunda game. This game is awesome, and this game alone hooked me up, and I basically from this game I started playing Necromunda. Because I had no idea before how it is played. I didn't know about the gangs, I didn't know about the development, I didn't care, you know. I play in 40k and that's it. But after watching one game, Necromunda, when these guys were playing, I was like, damn, this is something that super fun, light, funny, crazy stuff happening all the time, and I was like, okay, this is I want to try this, you know. And basically I bought immediately my Vansar gang after seeing this this stream, this episode, and from that moment, you know, we have a friend group that is focused on Necromunda. We are playing campaigns. This is our like 4th campaign, I think, that we are playing here. So we are full on Necromunda train. If you want to get some Necromunda lore, I can recommend Lutin09 YouTube's channel. Yeah, he talks about this as well. I mean, he talks about basically all Warhammer stuff, right? He talks about Warhammer 40k, Heresy, like general lore, but Necromunda is there as well. Yeah, it's fun to watch and to get to know a little bit. I will try to find right now this this game of Necromunda of Tabletop Titans and put it in the chat. And I do recommend to watch it, even if you are not like into Necromunda, just to check it, you know. Let me find it, because it was quite a long time ago, like a few years ago. But basically, the rules didn't actually change. So should be still, yeah, there we go. It was 3 years ago. It's only 2 hours 20. And yeah, this is it. I'm gonna paste it here. Yeah. So House Escher versus Palanite Enforcers. It has like 58,000 views, so quite a lot. Look at the first comment. You guys have to do more Necromunda. I've never been interested in it, but this game absolutely sold me on it. And this exactly happened to me. Like, it was quite incredible. I actually I want to watch it again, because I'm sure it's gonna bring some memories that I have from this game, and I, at least now I know the game, so I know what was going actually in the game. Because before I like absolutely didn't know, you know, what they are doing, but it was still fun to watch and fun to learn. So I'm gonna actually, I have to finish the stream because I'm going past 2 hours already, 2 hours 20, and I wanted to stream only 2 hours today. So look, thank you so much, guys, for coming over today. I'm just gonna, you know, do some last touches here on this glove and black things on these guardians, and I'm gonna end. I appreciate everybody that came over today. I will stream tomorrow. I'm not sure about the timing. It could be a little bit later, because I'm gonna play Necromunda, actually, Ash Waste campaign, with my friend in the morning, and then when I finish playing, I'm gonna do the stream. This was the plan for today, but let's do it tomorrow. Thanks. That's a lot of terrain. Hand orange covering ice. That's a lot of terrain. Yeah. I mean, in Necromunda is all about terrain, unless you play Ash Waste, so the new release, not so new, but you know, guys, what I'm saying. Then you don't need so much terrain, but the Necromunda terrain is super fun as well. So again, really appreciate everybody for hanging out, making this, you know, painting less alone. Hopefully you can paint some stuff too, or maybe you are at work and you know, just spend a little time enjoying with me. Very nice stream. See you tomorrow then. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate all the kind words, you guys. And if you are new to the channel, just leave a sub. Maybe you can join our Discord. The link is in the description. We have very nice community there, very helpful. If you have any questions about the hobby, about the list, about painting, you can ask there and you will have answer. Is it in English? Is it in Polish? We have both ways, basically. And maybe you will find a friend who are gonna help you, you know, learn the system. Maybe it's from your city and is, you know, gonna paint with you, like some of you guys are trying to do. So that's awesome. Thank you so much again. See you. Have a great day, great night, wherever you are.